I learned English the hard way. Years of studying grammar, memorizing vocabulary lists, so much pressure, and I still couldn't speak. Then I learned Spanish as an adult in a completely different way, through real life. If I had to learn English from scratch today, I wouldn't repeat the same mistakes. In this video, guys, I will walk you through exactly what I would do from day one, what to focus on, what to ignore, and how to build real fluency fast, so you can finally stop overthinking, start speaking, and make actual progress. Hi, welcome back to my channel, Wanna Speak by Veronica. My name is Veronica, I am from Poland. I also speak English, as you can hear, and Spanish fluently. And on this channel, we learn languages smarter, not harder. The first and extremely important step, I would choose one accent and stick to it. Let me tell you why it's so crucial. So I'm from Poland, and in Eastern Europe, at school they were teaching us a bit of British English, a bit of American English, a bit of RP, which is received pronunciation. Like, it was a mix of everything. So as a kid or as a teenager, I was completely sure that English is English. It's the same. But hell no, I was extremely confused for many years. I didn't know if I have to say a flat or an apartment, if I eat a biscuit or a cookie. So if you are learning English, choose one accent immediately. Whether it's American, British, Australian, it doesn't really matter. What matters is consistency. So choose one accent you like and stick to it. When you mix so many accents, your brain has to work harder and it creates insecurity. Once I committed to one variety of English, everything started to feel easier and more natural. And of course, you can hear that my accent is not fully American, which is totally fine. You can still have your accent as long as you are understood. What I mean by sticking to one accent is choosing the vocabulary from that country or a continent, for example, American English. I'm not gonna say I'm renting a flat, because to me, right now, this is an apartment. The second thing I would do if I could start over would be sticking to very specific vocabulary. When I was at school, I was learning everything, all the names of the animals, things that I genuinely don't care about. I would start with words I actually need in my life. So I'm a digital nomad. Every single day I need to order myself a coffee or order some food, or I need to express my opinions or set boundaries in English, professional or personal boundaries, right? I also have a lot of American clients, so I adjust my vocabulary bank, let's say, to my life. If you work in an office or if you run your own business, then you're gonna stick to more business vocabulary, right? Specific and practical vocabulary will help you more than a lot of advanced words, phrasal verbs that are here stored in your head, but you never use. The next thing I would do if I could start over, I would start speaking from day one. Not perfectly, not fluently. Your speaking is gonna be messy, it's gonna be chaotic. That's perfect. But I would speak out loud from day one, even to myself. This is how I learned Spanish in about 7 months to an intermediate level. Was it uncomfortable? As hell. Did I feel ready? Absolutely not. I constantly forced myself to speak Spanish as much as I could after binge watching Spanish shows on Netflix. Now I have good news and bad news. Which one do you want first? We're gonna start with the bad news. If you are waiting for this moment, I feel ready to speak. I really hate to break it down for you, but this moment is not coming. And here comes the good news. You can create this confidence here inside of you by speaking as much as you can. One of my favorite options is actually recording a voice note to yourself every single day. Grab your cell phone and open WhatsApp or whatever application that records your voice and you talk. This is where Lingoda fits really well for me. Lingoda is an online language learning school where you can learn English, business English, Spanish. They offer one-on-one classes or small group classes with native level teachers, which I really value. Lingoda really understands that everyone learns differently, and that's why it's such a good fit if you want to tailor your language learning to your goals. You can book classes like 24/7. I personally take classes whenever I want. I can easily fit them into my busy digital nomad schedule and crazy time zones. Sometimes I take a business English class in a coffee shop and other times a Spanish class in my Airbnb. That level of flexibility is a game changer, right? Especially if traditional schools don't fit your life anymore. The best thing, in my opinion, is that classes are really focused on spoken communication, not just theory or boring rules. The personalized feedback and guidance from the teacher is so helpful.
Reading nice and clearly, everyone.
Especially for what matters the most, speaking and pronunciation.
I'm going to stop here just quickly with the pronunciation there, Maria. Watch those EDs.
Lingota also offers really helpful self-study tools. I use Lingobytes to boost vocabulary, grammar, and essential phrases. Oh, the other thing that just came to my mind about Lingota is that it's 100% human. So you are learning with real teachers, with real people. I look forward to every class because of that connection. Right now you can save up to 40% on Lingota Flex, which makes it a great moment to start learning a new language for the new year. If you'd like to try it, the link is in the description of this video. The next thing I would do if I were learning English again from scratch is, obviously guys, shadowing. I would shadow native speakers daily. I realized it way too late. I started shadowing native speakers like 4 years ago, and I should have done that 15 years ago. So what's shadowing? Shadowing is basically listening to native speakers and copying them, repeating after them. So you become their shadow. You guys know that it's my favorite technique, so let's shadow some native speakers, shall we?
Did you guys not see what I saw?
Did you guys not see what I saw? Did you guys not see what I saw? Did you guys not see what I saw? Did you guys not see what I saw? As you can hear and see, I repeat exactly what I heard and I copy the intonation, emotional charge, sounds, and I repeat the same phrase many times. If you're at the beginning of your language learning journey, whether it's English or Spanish or German or French or Japanese, you can start shadowing short phrases. I just shadowed a long sentence, actually a question, but you can start with a phrase. It doesn't have to be so long if it overwhelms you. If you are a busy person and you don't have time to like sit and shadow, you don't have to. Honestly, you watch movies or shows or YouTube videos or you listen to something like every single day, right? So do it in English and just pause from 5 to 10 times a day and repeat while watching. That's it. When I was learning Spanish, I actually discovered the more the language is in my daily life, in my daily routine, the faster I get fluent. At some point in my life, I made Spanish my life, basically. And that brings me to my next point. Live the language. When I first started to learn English, that was obviously at school. My brain used to treat English as another boring subject at school. Study, memorize, pass the test, and forget. But when I was learning Spanish, this language became me. I became this language. We became one. I know that this sounds funny, but really, Spanish was everywhere. I even set my phone to Spanish. I used to listen to Spanish music. I used to follow a lot of, and I still follow a lot of Spanish creators, and I actually love it. For example, there is this girl, her name is Carmen, and Carmen lives in the UK.
Que todavía veis Spanish por ahí, es porque todavía no lo he cambiado todo.
She's also an expat like me, so that's why her content resonates with me so much. And I listen to her every single day. Now I live in Spanish-speaking countries, so that's obviously easier, but you don't have to live in an English-speaking country or a Spanish-speaking country. You just have to make sure that this language is a part of your life. And the next thing I would do if I could start over, you already know, I would throw this grammar books out the window. I would forget about memorizing grammar rules, about studying grammar rules for hours. Don't attack me in the comments, please. I'm not saying grammar is not important. Of course, grammar is important, but studying grammar the traditional way, the school way, is just a waste of time. Let me put it this way. Grammar should support speaking, not block it. So when you sit and study grammar and you feel that you know more, but then you open your mouth and you are like, I don't know what to say, it means grammar is blocking your speaking. So now the obvious question arises, but Veronica, how do you learn grammar? Well, from real life. When I was learning Spanish, or living Spanish, I should have said, I was observing how native speakers use certain structures in context. For example, in Spanish, there is this structure, me ha dicho.
Papá me ha dicho esto, tienes razón, mamá me ha dicho esto.
A se usa para él y ella, entonces para tercera persona. Si quiero hablar sobre mí, hubiera dicho, pues yo he dicho que tienes que hacer esto. Si hablamos sobre más personas, hubiera usado han. Me han dicho. Ellos me han dicho. You see? So it's like logical thinking, observation, analysis, that's it. When I was speaking Spanish right now to you, I used this really complicated structure, me hubiera dicho, que es subjuntivo o algo de eso. Really, I don't know the names of these structures, but I am able to use advanced structures. How? Because I just practiced a lot and I was corrected by native speakers. That's why taking classes, for example, on Lingota or like talking to native speakers is amazing because they correct you and you learn on the go. So you don't have to put so much energy and so much effort and so much time into memorizing grammar. You do it because you live it. Guys, talking about throwing things out the window, I would throw perfectionism out the window as well. At the beginning of my English journey, I wanted to be perfect. This is the way I was taught at school. I was taught that I can't make any mistakes. But let's be honest, this is BS. This is not real life. Maybe that worked for the school environment, but it doesn't work anymore. I'm not inviting you to stop learning. I'm inviting you to just overcome your own fears and speak anyway. Use English as a tool to improve your life. Don't let English block you. English is not a person and it doesn't have any power. It's neutral. It's up to us how we use it. So make English work on your favor. We are almost there, guys. Stay with me because the next thing I'm gonna say is super important. If I could start over, I would learn slang right away. This is what I did when I was learning Spanish. I learned slang, like Spanish slang that you can hear in La Casa de Papel, Money Heist, this Netflix show, right away. Like I started speaking using slang. When I was learning English, obviously I didn't have that opportunity because I was a kid. Every movie, every show, every YouTube video, every podcast is full of slang. Learning slang words in your chosen accent will make it feel more fresh, alive, up to date, dynamic. You're gonna feel more included in the culture. For example, if my chosen accent or variety of English is American English, then I can go to the US and feel really comfortable, right? Because I'm gonna speak like them. By the way, I'm going to the US soon, so if you have any video requests, let me know in the comments and I'm gonna record some special videos in the US. For sure. I would like to talk to some native speakers there, ask them some questions about slang words and stuff like that. So that would be fun, right? I'm just lacking ideas. So let me know what you need and I'm gonna make it happen. So the last thing that I want to tell you, I need to grab a book, is reading out loud, even without fully understanding what you are reading. But what's important here is that your brain learns patterns before it learns meaning. And this helps you speak more than people realize. And your brain is gonna scan for grammar and observe different structures. And this is actually the mistake that I made learning Spanish. I was so obsessed with speaking and living this language in more like visual way that I forgot to read. And now I'm in Argentina. I tried to read a book in Spanish and it was super difficult. The conclusion: the sooner you start reading in your target language, in English in this case, the faster you're gonna master all the skills necessary for fluency. So here we have it, guys. This is what I would do if I started learning English again. Let me know in the comments, what would you do if you could start over? You guys know that I love to chat with you in the comments, so I hope you're gonna share your thoughts with me. If you wanna give Lingora a try, remember that the link is in the description of this video, and I'll see you next week in my new video. You got this. Take care.